Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
I gotta mute my mic. That's what happens when you're trying to produce and do everything. Plus, try to watch a playoff soccer game, Columbus and Jordan. It's a 2-hour special coaches show, playoff edition. And we're gonna have from Glenwood, Brookstone, Pacelli, Calvary, all the teams still live. Plus, we're live here from Jordan and Columbus. We're live here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live, and we have a fantastic show in store for you here today. We're going to kick it off with the Brookstone Cougars. We'll have Coach Elton Surraw on. He's head coach of the boys. They jumped all the way up to number 2 in the GIAA rankings after a big upset over Pacelli last week. We'll see what Coach Surraw has to say about his team. Follow that, we talked with the girls coach, Coach Carter, who came up just short from winning back-to-back state championships last year. They come as the 6th seed. And then we wrap up Brookstone with Coach Greg Mathis, 2-time defending state champion back-to-back. They finished as the number 2 team for the 3rd consecutive year in the bracket. We'll talk about his playoff run. From Brookstone, guess where we're going to go? We're going to go to Pacelli. And Pacelli boys and girls soccer are still alive. Zach Cochran, defending state champion. Alex Goja, defending state champion. We'll talk about both their programs. And as Coach Goja, the boys ranked number 1. Coach Cochran, the girls ranked number 4. Both get a first-round bye. Then we go from Brookstone to Calvary. Coach Steve Smith leading his Knights baseball program, hottest program going right now. They're the number 7 seed. They host Bullock this week. We'll talk about with him. And we talk with Jason Robertson, the head coach of the Calvary Knights, who were ranked top 5 in the country earlier this year. Kind of got off to a slow start these last 2 weeks and had a lot of games, including to Pacelli, that lost in penalty kicks. Brookstone as well, that went right down to the wire, as he thinks that this team still, though, has a chance to win a state championship. And finally, we will wrap it up with the Glenwood Gators, as Coach McConnell is actually playing right now tonight in the area championship for softball. And we talked with Coach Fanning as tomorrow night his Gators host an Elite 8 game against Altamont. So great show in store for you here today, and glad that we're going to get it underway. A ton of coaches that I was able to interview earlier today and throughout the day. So let's go ahead and bring on the head coach of the Brookstone Cougars. His name is Coach Elton Surraw. Coach, thank you so much for joining us, man.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
No doubt about it, Coach. And we were talking. You've been a parent at Brookstone for 5 years. Your son, EJ, fantastic. I'm talking about one of the best soccer players we have in our area, maybe in the state. Has been going to Brookstone since the 8th grade, and you took over the program last year. Now, Coach, you got a team from last year didn't make the playoffs to this year being ranked in the number 2 slot. How did this year go, in your opinion? Kind of recap the season for us.
Oh, man. This season, these boys have worked their butts off. Just the training alone, right? Since the beginning of the season, just the training alone, just every day, the work that we're putting in. I mean, these boys are hitting the gym. These boys are coming to the practice facilities, even days we don't have practice, coming on the weekends. I mean, I know, like I said, I know I'm new to the program as far as a head coach, but the boys is what deserves all the credit, to be honest with you. I mean, they put in the work, and that's why they're at where they're at right now.
All right, Coach, let's talk about your team. They are ranked number 2. Let's kind of start where you just finished off, a major win over the team that finished number 1 in the rankings, and that is Pacelli. You were able to win 3-0. How did you feel about your team's performance with that big win last Friday?
Absolutely, certainly proud of them, Thrift. I mean, they went out and got it as they wanted to. I certainly thought the game here at home when we played against them could have gone either way, and both of the teams, like I said, number 1 and number 2, it could have gone either way. But I think the way these boys went out, the aggression that they went with on last week Friday against Pacelli at their place. I mean, you could have seen just the crave, how they wanted it, and pretty much. I mean, that was a difference in the game. I mean, both teams are good. Pacelli's a great team, great coach, a friend of mine over there, Goja, and I mean, but these boys, once that whistle blew, they went after it, and they played great the whole entire game.
Coach, you're 12-2-1 on the season. You had a tie against
Yep.
Heritage, who's one of the best teams in 2A. You lost to Calvary. We know how good they are. And then Pacelli, you lost to them. But, Coach, you're won 7 in a row. You have won 10 of your last 11. How do you feel about your team as you head into the playoffs on this winning streak, taking down Pacelli at Pacelli on their senior night? I feel like there's a lot of confidence, but how do you keep that momentum going, knowing you got an off week this week, graduation coming up, and trying to keep them focused?
And that's one of the difficulties for us this week, right? Because you don't want the momentum to stop. And right now we have pretty good momentum on our side with the win and the streak that we have going. But as us coaches, we just got to keep it exciting. We got to keep the practice sessions exciting. We can't let it dull, right? But that's our job to do with these kids. I mean, we certainly feel pretty good going into the playoffs. I mean, we really do. But one thing I've expressed to these kids is we got to remain humble, got to remain level-headed. I mean, anything can happen. I explained to them yesterday, once the season is done, the playoffs is a different ball game. I mean, we see that in the NBA right now. It's a whole different kind of playing, right? But we just got to stay level-headed, stay humble, got to keep the practice exciting, got to work on things that we need to perfect from what we from the season. And so that's what we've been doing, and hopefully we can just carry that into our next game, next weekend.
We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Coca-Cola, Houston Clinic, and Hasillo Law. And so we're glad to have all of them on board. And thank you to Brandy Allday, who, by the way, son, plays on that Brookstone baseball program. And we appreciate her and Mike Hasillo for their support. Coach, as you've made mention, you've had some incredible players, man. But we got to talk about your son. EJ, a senior, dude's got 32 goals this year. He's averaging 2 goals a game. Coach, he has been he's been sensational. Everyone talks about how dominant he has been. What did you know that he had this gift of just being an excellent soccer player, man?
To be honest with you, man, I kind of saw it when he was in the 8th grade. And that's when he started playing JV here at Brookstone as an 8th grader. And just seeing how he was, I mean, he played every JV game against mostly sophomores and some juniors, of course, freshmen. But just seeing how he dominated the field at the 8th grade level, that there's showing me, okay, there's potential there. And then we got him into the right training facilities, training personnel, and he got invited to train overseas. And coming back with that, I mean, just a different talent level and skill level. So I would definitely say I probably saw that when he was in 8th grade, Trev.
Well, Coach, he's been great. But how about your goaltender? We got to give credit to him. He was lights out against Pacelli. Talk about Reed, how good he's been, man, and how dominant he's been and kind of setting the tone for you defensively, Reed Halter.
Reed is playing his butt off this season. Reed has played his butt off, man. I mean, let's go back to last season where it wasn't his best season, but as a coach, you see the potential. All right, this kid can be a keeper. He can be a keeper. But and before that, he suffered from an injury. I don't know if you ever seen him. He always wears a brace on his leg. So he's coming back from that. So now you got to build his confidence up. And he's not the biggest guy, right? I don't know if you ever seen him in person. But this season, that kid has been, when I said balling out, he's been someone I can actually not have to worry about his decision making, just his playing level on the field, talking to his defense. He's communicating with the entire team, that's what you want your keepers to do. But man, I mean, EJ's scoring goals, but Reed in the back, he's saving goals.
Coach, let's talk about Traeger Young. He's been great assisting on a lot of those goals for EJ.
Yeah.
He's another senior. Talk about all the senior leadership you got on this team that's kind of set the stage for EJ's younger brother who's out there playing as well. Traeger, he's the captain. He's one of the main captains, and he controls everything, man. We had a conversation earlier this season, myself and one of the assistant coaches, just about how Traeger was playing, and he started off a little slow, as far as the playing style that I wanted, but midway through the season, Traeger is like a light bulb clicked
clicked on, and he's a whole different player. He manages, he controls it, he calms his teammates down, and he makes those right passes. And him and EJ, they click. They click. They understand each other. They know they feed off each other. So when you have that in the middle, you have one up front, and then you have someone in the backfield that you're going to be just fine. Dude, you got a pretty solid, balanced program, and that's what we have this season.
You guys talk about your assistant coaches. My cousin Paxton, shout out to my cousin Paxton Bush, who bleeds Brookstone blue and loves that soccer program, a former player. Coach, talk about what he's been able to do in helping you this year, because you can't do it by yourself, man. Got to have people that are surround you.
Absolutely. Paxton's been here before I got here, right? He's been here when we came on. He's just been steady. He's a steady assistant coach. He's been here, and he's one we use when there's a player missing. Paxton would get out there and he's playing, right? He's get out if the keeper is missing, Paxton's out there playing keeper. But besides Paxton, we brought on this year Marcos Jesus, Brazilian assistant coach that I coach his son at Concord, and we've coached together with the Ranger program at Woodruff, and we've been together for the past 3-4 years. And just the talent and the skill level that he brings and the knowledge from even just the Brazilian side of how they do things over there. And, you know, Brazil, that's all they do is bleed football, soccer.
Right.
And he brings that here. I mean, his trainings are just awesome, fantastic. Coach Roddy, who's been with the program as well since I've been coaching. He also was helping Coach Juve before I got on. I mean, his knowledge of the game also, man. And his son Jimmy Hunter is the other midfielder that we have. But all those pieces on that coach's sideline, all the knowledge that these guys bring completely is what helps me breathe what we got going on this season.
All right, Coach. Let's talk about what's coming up next, as you got potentially the winner of Stratford and George Walton. Stratford, a team that made the state championship last year. Coach Ian Jones does a great job. I know you got respect for his program. So what are y'all going to do this week to prepare for what potential you could have next week?
So definitely one thing we want to focus on is how we can perfect our game, right? We do watch film as well. We haven't seen Stratford play, but I think the main focus for us is for us to get better. If we play our game, we can compete with anyone, right? I don't try to focus on the other team too much, Thrift, to be honest with you. We just got to go out there and execute our game plan, and that's what the plan is, despite who it is. If it's either Stratford, it's either George Walton, but we're just going to be ready to take on that contest.
All right, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll be cheering you on, and what a great job to finish as a number 2 ranked team here in the GIAA, man.
I appreciate it very much, man.
That's Coach Elton Surraw, head coach for those Brookstone Cougars. And now we go from girls. We're going to take a break. From boys, soccer. We're going to go to girls, program that's, accustomed to winning too. Coach Chris Carter is going to be joining us. And his girls team ranked number 6 in the GIAA rankings. Remember, they came up just short last year in that incredible state championship game and won the state championship the year before. So we'll talk to a guy that's been very successful here in just a moment. It's the Ultimate Coaches Show on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. We'll be right back after this. Got to pay some bills. Don't go anywhere.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this. Come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Welcome back, everyone, and it is now 1-0. The Jordan Red Jackets just scored on Columbus side 26 minutes into this first half. How about Jordan winner to the semifinals. Columbus boys would host, Jordan boys would be on the road. All right, let's bring on our next guest. He's the head coach of the Brookstone Lady Cougar soccer program. His name is Chris Carter. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. I appreciate you joining us here on this evening. Done a great job with the Brookstone girls program. So for those who don't know who you are, Coach, I'm going to kind of let you tell your story. How long you been a part of the Brookstone family? How long you been coaching there? And how long you been involved in coaching soccer, man?
So I've been at Brookstone for it's my 10th season. I spent 8 as the community coach, and this is my 2nd season as the head coach. Before that, I've been coaching since 2006. I've coached in Oklahoma, New York, Korea. Went to Guam, Japan. Did high school boys over in Korea, and then came here. Was with the Concord Club for a while, and now I just do Brookstone.
Awesome, Coach. Well, you got a really good program. Obviously, last year came up just short in an incredible game. This year, you're 10-4-2 on the season. Kind of recap how this year has been for you, Coach. You had your ups and your downs, but you're ranked number 6. Feel like you're in a good position to make a deep run. How'd you feel about your team so far this year?
So we graduated 3 very important pieces last year, and it's taken a while to figure out how the new parts all fit together. But just like last year, we win the playoffs as a 6th seed, and we're able to make that run. We think we can do it again this year.
No doubt about it, Coach. Do you think playing in a tough region with the likes of Pacelli and how good they are, playing a good Harris County girls program as well, playing Glenwood, playing Central, Smith Station, do you feel like playing a lot of these top schools, bigger schools, has helped y'all to make a deep playoff run?
It has, and every one of them presents a different challenge. Pacelli's stacked again this year. It's going to be tough for anybody to come push them into playoffs, but it's been done. But then, Harris County's got a great program. Smith Station's got a great program.
Yep.
So those challenges help us get ready for this run.
All right, Coach, let's talk about some of your key contributors this year. Who are some of the girls who have stood out and really helped contribute? And I'll tell you what, Camille Hargrove, as your goaltender, she's been sensational. I've been to several games. She's been great back there with the defense. So talk about her and some other girls that have really stood out to you this year.
Yeah, Camille's grown a lot. She last year, she missed part of the season being hurt and came on strong in the playoffs, and she's still growing from that. And she's young. We still get her for 2 more years.
Right.
So that's great. Have that solid back there. Her twin sister at Mother Center back, Charlotte. She's a beast. She's physical, and she never gets flustered. 2 center mids and the Zwicky sisters, Taylor and Sydney.
Yep.
They're probably 2 of our top goal scorers right now. And then we've had 3 8th graders that have come on and become starters, played a lot of minutes, and they're growing, getting ready for this playoff run.
All right, Coach, let's talk about the playoff run. You unfortunately have a game this week. I say unfortunately, but maybe you like playing this week and don't want the bye. I know a lot of people that say they don't like taking off a whole week with all the distractions that are going on. So, Coach, we're going to be there to broadcast it. You're taking on Bethlehem Christian. What do you know about Bethlehem Christian, and how's a week of preparation leading up to the game this Friday night at 6?
Yeah, it's a 6 versus 11 seed, but they've had some up and down results similar to us. Won a game, lost a game against the same opponent.
Right.
They've got a girl that scored 20 goals, 10 assists. So she's powerful up front.
Right.
So it's going to be a challenge. They're a decent team. I think we're ready. We've watched some film. But playing this week versus, 2 years ago, had that bye.
Right.
With everything going on at every school, graduations, all the things seniors got to do.
Right.
Either way, it's hard. So to me, getting them out there now and focusing on something 4 days away versus, like our boys team that now has a bye.
Right.
Playing graduation weekend, their first game, that's a lot to deal with. So both can have their benefits. We've had both the past 2 years and made the championship game both times. So,
yeah, Coach, like I said, very successful. You've done an amazing job. I've been a big fan from far, man, and looking forward to seeing, like you said, you're the 6th seed just like last year. So finally, what's the message been to the girls saying, hey, it don't matter what the ranking we are, it don't matter how many games we play. We just got to go out and handle our business, and we can be in the state championship again.
everything from this point on is who shows up that day. So you got to show up for every game. You can't take any plays off, and it's got to be 80 minutes of everything you got.
Well, Coach, we look forward to being there on Friday night, 6 o'clock, cheering on your girls, and hopefully you're making it to the quarterfinals. Thank you so much for joining us, man.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
That's Coach Chris Carter and his girls program. They got a game this Friday night. Come out and support the girls. 6 o'clock Friday night. You ain't got nothing else going on, and come and cheer on Coach Carter as his Brookstone girls trying to make it back to another state championship. All right, let's take another break. And when we come back from break, that's right, you know who he is. His name is Greg Mathis. And guess what? His team is in a very similar position they've been the last 2 years, which is ranked number 2, right behind FPD. So if you're according to Coach Mathis, they're right where they need to be, just like the last couple of years. We'll talk with him how this season's been, what he's looking forward to, the playoffs, how he's handling the bye week, and more here on the Ultimate Coaches Show, Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Right now, Brookstone edition. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget, we got Calvary, Pacelli, and Glenwood all coming up next. We'll be right back after this with Coach Mathis.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, and it's the Ultimate Coaches Show edition. And now coming back up, we're going to bring on here in just a moment Coach Greg Mathis. He's the head coach of the boys program. Coach, how you doing, man? I don't think Coach can hear me. So we're going to go back to commercial. This happens all the time on StreamYard, guys. I'm telling you, don't go anywhere. We got a good one here right now at Otis Spencer Stadium as we have 18 minutes left in the first half. Jordan leading 1-0 over Columbus High, and winner goes to the semifinal this upcoming weekend. So looking forward to that. So we are cheering on. That is May 8th. So that will be this Friday. Jordan will be on the road. Columbus High will be hosted. Let's go ahead and bring him on. The head coach of the Brookstone Cougars. Coach, how you doing?
Good, Thrift. How are you?
I'm doing great, Coach. Can you hear me? Just want to make sure I can hear you. There you are. I knew we were going to get it right, Coach. I'm sorry about that. We are live from Otis Spencer, so I am dealing with a little bit of Wi-Fi issues. But, Coach, how's this year been? You finished in number 2. It's like deja vu all over again. 22-5, ranked number 2. How you feel about your team heading into the playoffs, man?
Well, I feel good about us. You know, everybody kind of been saying that, you know, maybe this group's not as good. Well, I'm sitting here looking at them. We're right where we were last year and the year before. We're 22-5 going into the playoffs. So,
right,
if for some reason the good Lord will let us win 6 of the next 9 games, we'll be right where those other 2 teams were. So I feel good. This is a good bunch of kids, good bunch of seniors, and they've been there. They have the experience of being there, and they've won, I want to say, about 80-something games. And they've been in the playoffs, this group of seniors. So I'm excited for them. You know, I'm excited to see who's going to step up. And who's going to get a big hit or who's going to pitch real well for us. So, but we still got a lot of work to put in before we get there, and there's a lot of good teams. This is as balanced as I've ever seen the bracket. I mean, you can sit there. Well, you know, FPD, obviously, we knew they were going to be the favorite. I mean, they got it back. But from 2 all the way down to about 10, or, you know, there's a lot of good teams.
No doubt about it, Coach.
You know,
and I tell you this, Coach, looking at your seniors, Luke Vale, 6-1 on the year. Lowry twins, how about them? Luke, 6-1, and then their batting has been sensational. We're going to get into the guy that's been the catalyst defensively and leading the team in batting average. I want you to talk about those seniors who, in my opinion, may be going down in the greatest senior class in Brookstone history. If they're able to win another state championship, Coach, they may already have that right now. Harrison Baker's been great this year. He is tied with the team with 5 home runs. Talk about how your seniors have come through this year when everybody thought, what, Brookstone, too much turnover the last couple of years. No way they can do it again. And these guys were like, hold up, we were on this team too.
Absolutely. And, you know, it just boils down to waiting your turn. You know, nowadays kids want to transfer schools. If they're not getting to play, they're willing to try to go somewhere else. But some of these guys have waited for their chance to step up. I mean, you know, just going through the seniors, you know, Harrison, he's just been a winner for us here at Brookstone. I mean, 2 times he's been to the finals in football, and then he's been on 2 state champion teams, and he stepped up last year down there at Synovus. And then you got the Lowry brothers, who have just been amazing for us on the mound and at the plate. Of course, I'd, you know, be nuts if I didn't mention Gray Jones, how steady he's been behind the plate.
Right,
I mean,
fantastic.
You're trying to fill Mercer Hudson's shoes from last year, and he's done a really good job of doing it. But then, you know, you got the other guys. You got Luke Bell, who is going to go to Southern Union today. We found out they offered him today, so that's good. And Dylan been DHing some for us. You got Hayes Keatle, who's had some big hits for us coming off the bench, and then Kite Wilson is just a guy that's willing to do whatever we need him to do. So this senior class has been really good. They're a close-knit group, and they show a lot of leadership on the team to the young guys especially. So
Brendan Neal,
leave their mark. They want to be known for the class of 26 and not be everybody else talking about those other 2 teams. So
Brendan Neal, we've talked about him and his growth and maturity, but stat-wise, man, 458, 5 home runs, 21 RBIs, 33 hits on the year. Now he's been when he does pitch, he has a sub-1 ERA, and I know he'll be used during the playoffs. Talk about his progression as becoming, I think, one of the elite players in the entire state of Georgia, man.
Well, you know, Brendan's a special guy. You get to coach a guy like that every so many years. You know, they don't just come along. I'd be willing to say he's one of the best defensive shortstops. You've seen some of the plays he made. And to be quite honest with you, him and Mitchum Kelly, I was talking to Coach Howard, who we talked, and he was just talking about how good they have been up the middle on double plays. And all those good teams Coach Howard's had at Columbus High and everywhere. He can't remember. I mean, we have turned, I don't even know, I'll have to go back and look at it, but we've turned double-digit double plays. And when you do that in high school, it keeps you out of having a big inning, and it just takes the other team's breath away. But Brendan's a special guy. We made the commitment that we were, you know, he's already signed with Auburn. So we made the commitment that we were going to try to develop the other guys. And then we're going to, after about the 5th inning, we start thinking it might be Brendan Neal time. And that formula's worked for us so far this year. But, you know, he has developed as a young man also. He's been a team leader. He's controlled his emotions a lot this year. To me, it's just a maturity thing. I just think he's come around a lot maturing. He's a great student and always does the extra thing in the classroom too. So Auburn's getting a good one if somebody don't decide to take him in the draft next year. He's got a tremendous upside to him. So you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach. And I've been impressed with him. By the way, you're talking about your fielding percentage. National average, 7 double plays. You'll have 18 of them this year.
Yeah.
18.
It's crazy. And it's got us out of some jams, and it just breaks the other team's back over there in the dugout when they see us turn a double play. But hopefully we can keep it up.
Coach, let's talk about pitching-wise this year. Last year you had the dominant of Mr. Kim. This year, a little bit different, Coach. You kind of Johnny Holstaff, and that's really been – I feel like all the teams. Glenwood's kind of been that way. Calvary's been that way. Y'all have had to be that way as well, knowing that there really hadn't been that dominant arm other than Mike Nottleman over at Columbus High. But you got a deep pitching staff. You've been able to go 3-game series with some really good teams. So talk about how you feel about your staff right now. Mitchum Kelly's been great. Luke Vale's been great. Lowry. And hopefully you can get Ben Ivy at some point. We've talked about eventually him being able to maybe throw. So how's the pitching staff coming along?
Well, we knew Shainu was going to be a big loss. I mean, God, he's been a 2-year guy. He's won like 20 games in 2 years. But,
right.
We've just tried to develop these guys, and Luke Vale has really stepped up. And then, of course, we knew what Luke Lowry was capable of. I mean, he no-hit Bullock last year in Game 3. But and then Jake's really stepped up. But Mitchum Kelly's also been a big asset to us on the mound. He's come in at relief. But, I've said this all along that there's so many good pitching now. Pitching rules everything now in baseball. It starts even in Little League, and it's trickled all the way down from MLB. So we always feel like there's a good arm out there. I mean, Fitz Stone threw a tremendous game against us for Calvary. And and then Boston Brown and those guys. I mean, somebody can beat you one time, but we feel like our success is always going to be that when it gets to Game 3, we're going to have somebody on that mound that's going to be better than your Game 3 guy. So we're real comfortable with our guys, and Ben Ivy, we're hoping we can get him back. We've been working Jake Griffin as a left-handed guy a lot, and guys. We don't want to bring him along too fast, and he's been throwing a little bit of – he's going to do a bullpen again this week. So hopefully that'll be something that we can surprise everybody with if he's able to help us out.
Having to shut that window because a lot happened. In 9 minutes left, Jordan leading Columbus High right now. Coach, last year you decided to play Southwest Georgia during that bye week, and guess what? You're doing the same thing this year. You are going on the road. You're going to play them and Deerfield Windsor. That's if rain doesn't come and wash it away on Thursday, so we're knocking on wood. How important is it to play those games, and not take 2 weeks off because you didn't play last week either, and getting some freshness so you feel good heading into next week, potentially playing maybe a Calvary or a Bullock at home?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not so sure how much I was listening to you talk to Coach Carter about the bye. I'm not so sure how good the bye is once you get to rolling. But for us, I really have seen the guys. We've taken some time off, and you got so many things going on with the school, senior night, senior awards, senior banquet. So you have to give in to those things. But I've really seen like a pep in the guys' step of like our second season right here. We give them they seem refreshed. We let some guys throw live today, like 25, 30 pitches. And it seems like, we're getting our strength back. Because I'll be honest with you, after a 30-game season, you're wore down. But we're in the weight room. We're doing stuff trying to maintain our strength. But there's good and bad to it. We've done it both ways. But if we get rained out Thursday or Friday, we're just going to inter squad, and we feel like the arms that we're throwing in inter squad are going to be as good as any that we see in games. So the biggest thing right now is, we've all played 30 games. So our biggest thing we say all the time is we just want to tune it up. We're not trying to rebuild the motor right now. We're not trying to overhaul. We just want to tune everything up. So if we don't get to play somebody else, we'll enter squad and see live pitching and try to get ready. But
well,
That's about all you can do. And the biggest thing is keep everybody healthy. We don't need somebody to get hit and get hurt in an inter-squad game. So it's a catch-22. You don't know. It can go either way.
Well, Coach, you're still alive. Calvary's still alive. Glenwood's still alive. You're the only 3 baseball teams in this area, Central 2, who is still alive, but a part of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live coverage. Brookstone, Calvary, Glenwood. So we're all cheering for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Coach, and look forward to talking to you next week ahead of potentially, I'm hoping, and not going to lie to you, Coach, a Calvary Brookstone rematch in that quarterfinals. But, hey, Bullock's good too. You played them in the semifinals last year. So either way, you know you got a tough draw.
Well, I think Calvary is another team that, getting back to talking about pitching, I think Calvary has as much pitching as anybody.
No doubt.
Pre-game deal. So that's what makes them so scary. They're hard to take 2 out of 3 or even sweep because they've got some arms. But, we appreciate everything you guys do, and I just want to encourage everybody to come out and watch all the teams that are still alive. I mean, us, Calvary, Glenwood, Central. I mean, everybody that's alive. Columbus is a big baseball town, so let's support everybody because we need the support.
Coach, thank you. We'll talk to you later, brother.
All right, take care, man. Thank you.
That's head coach Greg Mathis, my good friend, and his team trying to go for a three-peat. They got a bye week this week. We're going to take a break when we come back. Pichelli time. Coach Cochran, we'll talk to him, and then Coach Gocha, as the 2 soccer coaches are on bye week this week, finishing number 1, number 4, respectively, heading into their playoffs. It's part of our Coaches Show special. Columbus ties the game at 1. We're live here again. You can watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, Gas Live Facebook page, and we're also on our YouTube channel. 5 minutes and 19 seconds left. And guess what? Right now, they're tied up at 1. We'll be right back. Right after this. Don't go anywhere, anyone. Welcome back, everyone, to this Ultimate Coaches Show edition. 2 hours talking to all the coaches from soccer and baseball from around the area, and looking forward to dissecting, as we've already talked to Calvary, Glenwood, Brookstone, Pichelli. All those schools have at least a soccer or baseball program still alive. We know Columbus and Jordan, they're playing right now tonight. We'll talk to their coaches later on in the week to see who winner of that game is. But it's time to talk to those Vikings. And this guy, all he does is win state championships, baby. He's got multiple in flag football and in soccer, and he's defending state champion. Bring on the head coach of the Lady Vikings, Coach Cochran. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Man, and listen, it's been a crazy year, I know, for you. And now that the rankings came out, saw y'all finish 4th. But let's first start with how you feel like your season went, playing that really tough schedule you always do. How do you feel about your girls now that you're heading into the playoffs?
I feel like we've gotten some momentum going, and we're kind of going in the right direction at the right time. We had a disappointing start. We scheduled a lot of tough teams, and I thought we were kind of ready for those games, and then we were in most of them, and it just got away. And part of that's we're young and we're learning. And the whole point of that is so that we can have all the lessons learned as we go into our next games in the playoffs. And that's our goal. So we're willing to hit speed bumps and figure out where we need to get better. And I felt like that's what we did all season, and we're ready for the playoffs.
By the way, all the losses you got this year, Coach, to GHSA public schools, Sars Mill, Pike County, McIntosh is one of the top teams in the country. Auburn, one of the top teams in the country. Northgate, a really good program. GHSA. You hadn't lost this year, Coach. And then going back to last year, winning the state championship. Now you're in the playoffs and you're in a bye week. What does this week look like for you as you kind of wait for who your opponent's going to be as the number 4 seed in the GIAA?
Yeah, we're just staying in the groove, trying to keep our fitness up, keep the girls motivated. I don't want to do too much. This in our league, this playoff run is a long run, and it is tough to kind of keep engaged for this long. We're on month 3, and this run could be another 3 weeks. So we're kind of low key this week, and then we'll ramp up next week going into our first round of playoffs for us, second round.
Coach, talk about Mia Camp, your freshman that's got 24 goals on the season. She's been sensational. What has she meant as a young and upcoming star, and just seeing her flourish as only a freshman?
It's awesome. I think that's part of why we're struggling earlier in the year. We were trying to get her going, and she's getting in. She's got elite abilities, and she gets in, and she's got to keep learning how to finish. And she's finished. She's gotten better each game, and she's kind of embracing that role for us, that she's the one that's going to help us get our goals. And I think when she's scoring, we're at our best.
Coach, talk about some of the other contributors on this year's team, from Ramos, who's been great. Burnett's been excellent. Talk about the defense that's been really good in this last 5-game winning streak that you're on right now. How do you feel about some of those contributors?
Well, we got players that have been there, and we have great leaders. We got, Addison, who had a goal in last state championship, Izzy Ramos, who had a goal last state championship. So I think we're going to lean into players that have been there, and they're going to have a great run for us. And we really want to have another run with Izzy as our senior, one of our 2 seniors. And then we got a ton of great players, but another one of note is Gabby Enriquez, who's just an elite top player. So she plays all over for us.
You got the winner of George Walton and Tatnall Square. That's who plays this week, and you'll have that game next week. Coach, last year, Coach Goja was the number 4 seed as the defending state champion, and you saw he make that run. Have you kind of talked to him about, people kind of overlooking you? I know Stratford's had a great year. They've been excellent. I know FPD's been great, but you are the defending state champion, Coach.
Yeah, I don't understand these rankings, but either way, I knew we were going to have to, we're not going to be happy if we lose the state championship game. So we got to win all our games. And so we're going to have a tough run. I know there's some good teams, including Stratford, and it looks like if we win, we'll probably match up with them. And, whether if we lost that round or if we lost in the state championship, we would be equally as disappointed. So our goal is to win state, and we're just going to try and do our best to win the 3 games in a row.
Right. And it's a long run, and you got graduation, prom, and all this other stuff going on. So how do you keep the girls focused, knowing what's coming up and it being the end of the school year and everything else?
That's where we'll just lean into our experience. Last year that was very new, and we had seniors that were canceling their trips. And so this year we knew kind of the time frame and what it looks like. And we didn't really have an issue. Everyone has prepared for us to play for 3 more weeks. And that's kind of the benefit of doing that last year. So we're leaning on our experience, and we're ready for it. Long season.
Long season, Coach. And by the way, playoffs next week. You wait the winner of George Walton and Tatnall Square. Coach, do you want to shout out any assistant coaches or anyone else that's really helped the program and the girls and yourself this year along the ride?
You know me. I'm right. I'm just me out there this year. Shout out John DeLalio from last year. He left me.
Right. Well, Coach, he's aware of many hats, and he does all things, man. Thank you, Coach, for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way. We'll be talking to you throughout this playoff run, and go and watch some George Walton Tatnall Square and see you're going to be playing next week.
All right. I hope to talk to you a few more times. Thank you.
Yes, sir. That is Coach Zach Cochran from the Pacelli Vikings. Glad that we were able to have him on. It's been a great year for them. They are 10-5-1 on the year. The only 5 losses are to GHSA schools, and then they got 1 tie. GHSA school, or AHSAA school in Auburn. So tough schedule, but this team is doing what they need to do to be successful, and glad that we've been able to see them do that. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back from break, we go from one Pacelli coach to the next. Coach Goja will be joining us here in just a little bit. Talk about his boys program that went from number 4 a few weeks ago. Now they're number 1. Don't go anywhere here on the Ultimate Coaches Show, Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3. Woo!
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this. Come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Ultimate Coaches Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We just got done with talking with one Pacelli Vikings soccer coach who's ranked number 4 in Coach Cochran. Now let's talk to the defending state champion who is coming in ranked number 1 in the boys bracket. His name is Coach Alex Goja. Coach Goja, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing excellent, dude. Another fantastic year for your program, Coach, and it's been a pleasant sight to see how y'all been able to finish. Coach, let's go ahead and get into it. You know, it started off kind of slippery, but, you know, the last couple of weeks until that Brookstone game, y'all been playing excellent soccer, able to get a big win over Calvary at Calvary, and you finished number 1 in the bracket. Kind of recap how the season went in your mind.
Well, we knew coming into the season that we were going to figure out a lot about ourselves. We graduated a ton of guys last year, a lot of seniority. We had a lot of younger guys that are coming in that were freshmen last year, and it was going to be their opportunity to kind of step up and take the reins. And, you know, in all honesty, our schedule at the beginning of the season was very difficult. You know, we played some really big teams, one of which is in the state Final Four. And a couple of our other teams that we scheduled early on have made some good runs in the playoffs. And, you know, we set things up that way to really challenge ourselves and to really learn a lot about ourselves. But, you know, we had a couple wins after the beginning part of the season that kind of got us in a rhythm. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we were on a 8-game win streak, I believe, before we had hosted Brookstone last week. And so, you know, it was, our boys found a good way to respond. We learned a lot about ourselves. We addressed a lot of stuff in training, which is, you know, that's what the training environment's for, is to try to work those kinks out. And, you know, now we've set ourselves up in a good position. You know, we were able to attain the number 1 seed. And, you know, that's a lot to say about the group of guys that we have.
No doubt about it, Coach. And you made mention you were on an 8-game winning streak. Before Brookstone, you didn't have any GIAA losses. You lost to Parkview, top school in GHSA. Auburn, Final Four team you were made mention. Jordan playing in the Elite 8 tonight against Columbus High, a really good program. You tied with them. East Coweta, another 6A school in the GHSA. That tough schedule. Do you feel like that, on top of the fact in your region, Coach, 3 of the top 4 teams in the GIAA reside there? You got to play them twice. Calvary, who was ranked top 5 of the country at one point this season. Brookstone, who's come on really strong. They finished number 2. I feel like y'all are so battle-tested Do you feel good about your team heading into the playoffs?
I do. I really do. To go along with some of those, we actually had this conversation with the boys yesterday. We did a film session from our last game that we played against Brookstone, and credit to Brookstone, they played a great game. And they deserve to win that game, and they did really well. But what I was explaining to the guys yesterday is it's like, guys, we played a very extreme schedule that's going to push you, and the beautiful thing about it for me is that a lot of those games, or pretty much all of them, we were right there.
Right.
It wasn't, it was a 1-goal game, or or a 2-goal game, and or even one game we even had the lead, and we ended up, letting it slip through our fingers. But what I was trying to tell them is, it's like, look, guys, as you can see, we can compete, and we're right there, and we just got to be able to see things all the way through.
No doubt, Coach. But look at the bracket right now. You will take on your bye this week, and if you will take on the winner of the 8-9 matchup, Fulton Science and Bullock, then potentially you could have Calvary in the semis. And guess what? Brookstone in the state championship game. It's like you're going to keep playing these teams over and over again. But as you may mention, you talked about the film session. What other things are y'all doing to kind of stay motivated, focused as y'all head into next week's playoffs? I asked Coach Cochran this. I mean, you got end of the year testing, you got graduation coming up, a lot of things happening that they can lose their focus. So how do you keep them tunnel vision to try to go back to back this year, Coach?
Well, I always resort back to what their goals were at the beginning of the season. We had a long conversation a couple times, actually. First, regarding all right, what do you guys really want out of this year? Like, what are your goals? Because I feel like, again, if you don't have goals for the season, you really don't have a direction that you're trying to work toward. And so we constantly remind them of their goals, and what the discussions that we had as a group of players and coaching staff about what we want to try to achieve this year. And, that's another thing that, we try to remind them is like, look, end of the school year. It's the easy thing is to get distracted, to tune out, school's right, end of school's right around the corner, graduation's right around the corner. Summer plans are right around the corner, and and I'll be honest, it's just one of those things that you got to stay focused. We got to stay laser focused, laser sharp. When we hit the training environment, are we focused, and are we there for the time that we are there, and are you invested into being the best player that you can be? That in turn is going to help us be the best team that we can be.
No doubt about it, Coach. And again, one more time, bye week this week. They'll be playing next week. And last year, you and Coach Cochran played on the same night, which it worked out. We love that. Do you plan on doing that again this year, or do y'all plan on splitting it up, or is that more of a week by wait till next week to decide once y'all know who your opponent is?
My plan right now is as soon as we know who our opponent is, I'm going to reach out to the coach and inform them like, hey, we have graduation Saturday, so we're gonna plan to play Friday, and play the same night as the girls. So that way we can have a doubleheader, and that way it gives all the planning and preparation for graduation time for the faculty, the staff, and the students as well.
Well, Coach, you've had a great season, but we got to talk about some of those key players you made mention. How about Connor Whiteman? He's been great, a senior that stepped up. Assist Cole Butera, he's been great as well. Talk about some of these key guys that have stepped up. You talked about that senior leadership that you lost last year. Guys have had to step up, and who are some of the other ones you want to name, drop, or whatever? Coach has had a great year.
Well, first, regarding Connor, Connor's been, as of right now, he's our leading goal scorer.
Yep.
He's been our threat in front of goal, and he's been doing a pretty good job. We're still trying to fine tune some things and the timing of some stuff, especially with playoffs right around the corner. In regards to Cole, wonderful player. Both boys, wonderful players, Connor and Cole. And I'll be honest, Cole's a very dynamic player. And,
right.
We asked for him to kind of be that facilitator for us. And, he's got a great head on his shoulders, and, he's always open to coach put me anywhere that I can help best the team, or best help the team. but he's they're both really good players. They've been very impactful for us. And we have a long list of guys. Our goalkeeper, Cannon Arsenault this year. Oh my goodness, he has had such a year. I know some of the goals that the goal record. You're like, well, coach, you don't have as many shutouts, but we're also playing some. He's getting a lot of pressure, and
from some elite teams.
Yes, and so I think he's had a phenomenal year. Andrew Bowers and Ben Barrett, they've really held down the midfield for us. Yair Herrera, he's been a solid piece in that back line, helping lead the back line. And our second leading goal scorer, who can be an extremely dynamic player, is Sam Cudd. He's had a very phenomenal year. He's really stepped up, and we're showing signs of taking steps in the right direction, especially with a younger group of guys.
All right, Coach, congratulations on a fantastic regular season, but I feel like y'all got bigger fish to fry. It's great to finish number 1 in the bracket, but y'all trying to bring home that hardware. This is your cry out to the community next week when y'all have a game, while they need to come and support yourself and Coach Cochran's team and y'all's in fight and road to the state championship.
Well, we're a big community. Pacelli's it's a family-oriented community, but also our soccer community is very supportive.
No doubt.
Our soccer community is huge, and I know we have a lot of guys that go to other games too, and go and support their friends, and all the support will be greatly appreciated. At the end of the day, yes, we represent Santa and Pacelli, but we also represent Columbus as well, and so we want to try to put Columbus on the map as, hey, this is a great place for soccer.
Coach, thank you so much. Look forward to talking to you many more weeks all the way to the state championship, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, thank you so much.
That's Coach Alex Goja. He's trying to win another state championship. That guy knows how to coach soccer. Him and Coach Cochran, man, two of the best. And, we talk about this all the time. Baseball's a big deal around here. We've had basketball state championships. We've had football. Soccer may have more success than any of the sports this year. Think about that. Central, great soccer program. Glenwood made the playoffs this year. Pacelli, Calvary, Brookstone, all can win state championship in both girls and boys. Columbus High's made deep runs. Jordan has made a deep run. Harris County, Northside got great programs. It is a hotbed in this area. I'm glad we were able to catch all of it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're going to take another break. Come back more Coach's Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Here with Masterwall CEO Steve Smithwick. They're one of our first sponsors. We didn't even know what sponsors were 4 years ago when I was doing this off my phone. Thank you so much, Steve, for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Oh, it's something that was needed for so long in the Valley, and me with my history of being a coach and all. Love to support it. You do a great job with that. Even when you were doing it on your phone, it was great.
I appreciate it, man. And again, we wouldn't be able to cover the 50 different highest schools and all the different sports without Masterwall and different businesses like yourself. But you're also a coach. And now, an award-winning author. We have Believer, Bulldog, and Coach. You can get on Amazon right now. You were the winningest basketball coach in Calvary history. What was the mindset behind writing this book?
Well, it's, I kind of treated it as a ministry, and I treat our business as a ministry. Loved what I did as a coach, working with those young guys and trying to set an example and point them in the right direction, and kind of do the same thing with business. So, you got to build it with a lot of good people around you, the right support group. And once again, I call it a ministry because that's the way I see it.
You can get this award-winning book right now on Amazon, and it's going to tell the whole story of Steve Smithwick from being an award-winning coach and a Hall of Famer and having the court named after him and then building this incredible business. I can't wait to dive into it, Coach.
Good. Hope you enjoy it. It's about never giving up. So That's what a coach needs to know. It's what an entrepreneur needs to know.
The name of it is Believer Bulldog Coach right now on Amazon. And thank you again to C. Smithwick and Mass Wolf for the support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the Calvary Coaches Show. And I am with the head coach of the Calvary boys soccer team, who's been coaching soccer for a long time, Coach Jason Robertson. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me today.
No doubt about it, man. Let's talk about you a little bit. How long you been here at Calvary? How long you been coaching soccer? And why was this, you felt like, was your calling, man?
Well, I started coaching with my kids started playing ball 25 years ago. So I've been doing it for a while between recreational, travel ball, high school. It's been fun. Awesome. It's been a good journey.
And you were at Glenwood. You won championships there. You also at Columbus High, I think you said
at
to
one
me.
Time, yep.
And then now you're
here.
And Brookstone and now Calvary. It seems like he's been every spot here around the area. Coach, this year, start off to a great start, okay? Was ranked nationally. They hit a little bit of a lull, and we were talking about it. 4 of the 5 losses come with PKs. We're talking about into extra time. What's your mindset now the season's over with your team to try to win that coveted state championship here in the GIAA?
I actually feel like we're in a good spot because, as any good coach wants, you want your team playing their best ball at the right time.
Right.
We did come out the gate really strong. Then we had a lull but during the lull, the good thing about it is it's self-inflicted. It's basically about game management. You know, here we are up the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, and we end up going into tying, go to overtime. And as you said in PKs, it's 50-50. It doesn't matter. Tell the kids all the time, it's not what's on paper, it's what you do on the field. So our kids are excited about it. So I really feel we're finally, the biggest thing we've been struggling with, honestly, during the lull is health.
Right.
We've had several starters that just can't complete a game or don't even play a game. So this extra bye week is going to help us, and we hope that's what pushes us through.
All right, let's talk about the region you're in. We were talking about this off air, 3 of the top 4 teams in your region, 3 teams in your region, or 3 of the top 4 teams in all the 4A classification. Brookstone number 2, Pacelli number 1, and y'all are number 4. Mount DeSales is the only team that's kind of sandwiched in there, man. How did it feel going through that gauntlet of a region? Do you feel like it has got y'all battle tested for a tough playoff stretch?
I think it's a great benefit. First of all, we don't have to leave Columbus to get a good competition.
Right.
And then second is knowing that we've already faced, most likely, the wins we will face in the later round of the postseason if we get there. And the boys have confidence knowing that we can compete and that we have a chance. You know, a lot of times you start a season, you don't know what you're going to be able to do. But having already been battle tested with these teams that we're going to face in state, it's a great thing.
All right, let's talk about some of your key contributors, man. Tylon Davidson, he leads your team in scoring. He's been great this year. We also have Aaron Diaz, another senior. He's been great. Logan Whitley, a junior, has been great. Tyler Orr, another senior, has been big. Talk about those seniors that have been huge leaders and contributors to a successful year so far.
A lot of the things for the seniors is they've been there. Fortunately, my first season here, we went to state and had a good chance and we won it. So that was a freshman class. So their biggest goal has been wanting to finish out strong. But like I've told you before, it's not about what you want, it's about what you're willing to do to get there. And I've been encouraging these seniors to really push the young guys to show them, hey, this isn't something that happens every season. You know, this is rare, and they've understood that. They thought after that first win their freshman year, every year is going to be a state championship. It didn't happen that way.
Right.
It never happens that way. So it's been great having that leadership and having guys that have been there and know what it takes. And they're hungry.
Right.
We went to the semifinals last year and lost to Stratford.
Yeah, by one.
By one in the last 15 minutes of the game. So that game management thing has really been a lesson learner for these seniors, and I think they're starting to understand that if we're going to have success in the playoffs, we have to manage the game at the end.
His name is Jason Robertson. He's the head coach of the boys soccer program, ranked number 4 in the state. They got to bye this week. If they win, they'll be probably playing Tallulah Falls, who's a number 5 seed, a really good program about 3 hours north of us in the mountains. Coach, what's the mindset this week heading into the playoffs? What is practice going to look like? I know for like some of the baseball programs, when they get a bye week, they try to play some games. Are y'all going to do that? Or y'all more practicing? What's the mindset heading in for next week?
We're going to focus on closing out, managing the game in the last 15, 20 minutes, but also scoring goals. We've kind of had a lull. We've been in every game, but just not putting it away.
Right.
And in soccer, if you can just put it away, then that keeps us from going to overtime,
right,
avoiding PKs. So that's our biggest strength. We're going to work on a lot of finishing, putting the ball in the back of the net. We haven't had a problem keeping teams out of the goal. So,
right.
I mean, we're averaging less than 1 goal a game against us. So
right.
That's pretty good. And we've been playing some top teams.
Right.
So our defense hasn't really been the issue, but just scoring. We have to finish.
They played LaGrange, Brookstone, obviously Auburn outside of here, Glenwood outside of here, Jordan, by the way, Elite 8, Columbus High, by the way, Elite 8, Central High School. You played them. They got a great program as well. Do you feel like that tough stretch and not having to really leave the area has now prepared y'all for the playoff stretch that you got coming up, which is Tallulah Falls? You win that. Probably got number 1 Pacelli. You win that. You probably got Brookstone in the state championship waiting on you.
That's what we're kind of hoping. I know I've already talked to the Brookstone coach and also the Pacelli coach. We're all friends. We'd love to see a Columbus final.
That'd be awesome, man. Columbus final in Macon, baby.
But also inside, I'm kind of like, I wouldn't mind seeing one of them get bumped off before we get there. Just being honest as a coach.
No doubt about it.
But but between the three of us, there's a good chance one of the Columbus teams is going to be in the final this year.
No doubt, man. Well, Coach, we look forward to being there on the playoff run. And you've done an amazing job here at Calvary. For those out there that want to come next week, your game potentially is going to be on Saturday. I know that's what the bracket says. Some things may change, but this is your cry out to the community why that you need their support to get your boys over the top and win a state championship this year.
Yeah, any local support we can get. And I want to close out on this. I think one of the greatest pleasures I've had coaching here at Calvary is I've instilled in the boys at the beginning of the season. I said, when the season's done, you're in college, you have families, I want to be that coach that one day you can call back and talk about your faith in God. Are you still there? What are you doing with your family? And that carries over. That's the kind of coach I want to be remembered as, that they can call me anytime.
No doubt about it.
Talk about their faith.
I love that, and I love that y'all care about what they do in their lives, whether they're playing soccer or being doctors, businessmen, whatever it may be. Jason Robertson, thank you so much, man. Good luck the rest of the year. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's the head man of the hottest baseball program right now in the area, Steve Smith, on the Calvary Coaches Show. We'll be right back after this.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2, 3.
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership. The Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
And I am with Terry Johnson and Terry Johnson Agency, one of the first sponsors I ever had when I started this endeavor over 4 years ago when I was doing it off my phone. I want to say thank you so much for believing in our vision of being able to serve the community, shine a light on all these athletes, all these programs. And Terry Johnson Agency, they've been serving the community for over 40 years. Home, auto, life, church. Terry Johnson's been helping my family and me specifically. He's my insurance agent. I want to say thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Thrift, and I appreciate the opportunity that you gave me 4 years ago to come on board and to be an initial sponsor with you. And it's just been a good association with you and a pleasure to work with you, and look forward to a long association even further down the road.
No doubt about it. Again, serving the community for many years. You need a quote today, give them a call. Jeremy Crosby, his daughter Brooke, and of course, Mr. Terry. They're going to make you feel at home. They're going to take care of you. He's my insurance agent. It's Terry Johnson Agency, big supporter of Georgia Alabama Sports Live. You got a little bit of a glow.
Welcome back to the Calvary Coaches Show, and I'm with the head baseball coach and athletic director, Steve Smith. Coach, thank you so much.
Yep.
Beautiful day here. Dude, it just seems like you got a little bit of a glow to yourself. Feels good when you're winning games. Won 7 in a row, 16 and 14. Talk about the last couple of weeks of the season. Your team playing the best ball they have all year.
Yeah, I mean, you know what we've kind of gone through all season long. Just some really close games, dropping extra innings, dropping one-run games, just not playing up to our ability. It really has been probably kind of spring breakish, where you could start to see maybe a little bit more consistency, and then really the last 3 weeks kind of come alive a little bit.
No
Pitching's kind of, done what they needed to do, and then offensively, I think that lineup has kind of figured itself out, and defensively, we've really taken that next step, which was what was really biting us kind of early part of the year. So we feel really good about it. Energy has been great. Practice yesterday was a great practice. It's going to come down to execution this weekend, though.
Yeah, Bullock Academy is who they're playing this Friday, doubleheader, of course, on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. That Brookstone series, do you feel like that was kind of the catalyst, knowing you played them tough? You lost by 1 point. You lost 5-3, won 3-2, and then lost 3-2, and you felt like you were in almost every game. Do you feel like that is where kind of the turning point? Because since then, you have not lost a game, Coach, since that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it really showed them, and I told them, I said, that's the 2-time defending state champion. Obviously, it's a rivalry game.
Right.
But when you saw how we competed consistently for all 3 games, and really when you look at all 3 games, one play here or there, it would have been a 3-game sweep for them, or it could have been a 3-game sweep for, like, it was that evenly matched. And they came out on 2 of them, and us only obviously 1. But I feel like we figured some things out there. Fitzstone obviously had that great start and really showed what he was capable of. We've been waiting for that kind of all year long.
Right.
And then we just had some other guys that just really kind of stepped up. And then over the last 7 games, what you've seen is we've pitched well.
Yep.
We've played good defense. Outside of a couple, the first inning of the Heritage game really is kind of the only thing in the last 7 games where we just kind of like, okay, we got to reel that in a little bit. But then offensively, guys have just been consistent. Billy Hilton has gotten extremely hot. He's moved up in the lineup. Liam Anderson with some really big hits recently. And I still don't feel like we've still got a couple other guys. Liam Hocutt, even Trip Ellison. I don't
to bring him up, Coach.
I don't think he's actually hit that stride yet. And that's dangerous thinking about him. Being able to get really hot, and Jackson Kennedy. Nate Osborne has done a good job since we moved him back into the top of the order. And then the guys at the bottom, they've just been turning the lineup over. So when you do those things, you execute. When we need to bunt or we need to do some different things on the small ball side, we've been able to steal some bags. When you do those things, it puts pressure on the other team, and then you can win a close game like we did against Citizens Christian, or just some of those other close games that we've had in the last few weeks.
And that was huge, man. Citizens Christian here, Blake Bryant pitching. You had every scout known to man. You had Tim Hudson here, everybody was fanboying over, and yet you were able to get that win. After that happened, it just seems like, Coach, the team's just getting better and better. But I want to bring up Fitzstone, because I feel like he's starting to become that number 1 guy you can call upon in big games. He's done it against Brookstone. He's done it against some other key games. Talk about his progression and becoming maybe kind of your ace right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of quality pitching. We've got a lot of guys that...
You're deeper than almost anyone.
We've got guys that we feel like we can throw them out there. Really, we've used probably 6 guys, but we've got probably another 3 or 4 that we feel pretty good about. They probably won't get in those opportunities, this year. But really, the 5 to 6 guys, they've been able to really kind of figure some things out this year. But one of the comments that I made before the season started, I was having a conversation. Someone was asking about our pitching. I said we've got a lot of quality pitching, but I think by mid-year, Fitzstone steps up and is our number 1. And that's big. Big.
Right.
And last year he had some really good outings, especially at the end of the year. He struggled at the first part of the year, couldn't find the slider, but once he found it, he had like 3 or 4 relief appearances where you could just see, okay, it's starting to kind of come. And then I told our coaching staff, we're just going to go ahead and go with it, let him get a start. He had a really good start in spring break, and then that's what you've kind of seen. The only thing where he had that 1 start against Pacelli, he had a hard time kind of getting a grip that day, but other than that, he's been just about lights out.
Well, Coach, I've been impressed by him, and I've been impressed by the adversity y'all been able to overcome this year. Let's talk about Bullock, though. I know everyone's looking forward to what potentially could be that quarterfinals. I know that is the last thing on your mind. Knowing Bullock made the semifinals last year, they got some good arms. What do you know about the Gators, and what are y'all doing to prepare for them?
Yeah, so they, right out the chute, they got a really good left-handed pitcher. Everybody you talk to talks about him. Last year, when they went to Brookstone, I don't think people remember, but they beat Brookstone 8-0 or 10-0 in that first game, and they're actually winning 2-0 in an elimination game going into the 5th or 6th inning.
Yep.
So they're good. I mean, they're a quality. They were a 23-24 win team last year. This year, when you look at their record, very misleading, similar to a Strong Rock of last year.
Right.
Prior to this last series, they won 7 in a row. And are figuring some things out. They can hit, and they've got, again, when you've got a number one that, when people talk about him, he can really dominate. We've just got to, similar to when you play a team like Citizens Christian, you have to go in, you have to grind out at bats. You got to execute. Situational hitting is going to be huge, and we got to play great defense and pitch well, and hopefully you do it to a point to where it's a close game late. We're at home. We feel really good when we're here. So, you do not look at all. You don't look at all over to who the potential matchup is in the second round. We are completely focused on Bullock Academy, because if you start looking at that, you can lose focus and quickly. 7 and 10 seed mean nothing. 7 and 10 seed mean absolutely nothing. You both have a 0-0 record. It's postseason. It's all about who executes. So we've got to go in and we got to play, 2 or 3 really good baseball games to try to advance, and we'll worry about that next week.
Calvary, Brookstone, Glenwood. Only 3 teams alive in our area, Coach. So we are cheering on all y'all to make deep playoff runs. Set the stage for this Friday while everybody in the community needs to come out. Tried the fantastic burgers, by the way. Love your concession stand, and why they can have fun. Doubleheader on Friday, how much it costs to get in, and then if necessary on Saturday.
So we got a 4:30 and 7 o'clock on Friday. Obviously, you look at the forecast, doesn't look great, but we're gearing up as if we are playing 4:30 and 7 o'clock. I think people that have come out and watched us play over the last 3 weeks, we play with a lot of energy. It's been really good baseball. It's something that the first part of the year I really kind of missed. But our guys they've really responded. You think back to 1 and 7, 2 and 10 at the beginning of the year, and now we're sitting there at 16 and 14. You can go back and look at all those games that you should have won, but all that matters now is that we're moving in the right direction. 4:30, 7 o'clock. You got a 10 o'clock for students and senior citizens, and $15 for adults. That's set by GIA, so don't get mad at me if you don't like the prices. Burgers are great. Concessions are really good.
Yep.
We've got plenty of seating now. We added some seating about 3 weeks ago.
I am so impressed by that, the seating and the green chairs. I mean, what was the mindset behind getting the chairs instead of the normal bleachers that you have on the side?
We've been, for the last 13 years, every year we always try to pick up different projects of things we're trying to do. Obviously this year we added the field fence. We had a donor that approached us and just said, hey, I'd like to look at doing some things there, give me some ideas. And one of the things that I've been wanting to do for a long time is stadium seats. And so I kind of pitched it to him. He was all about it, and it looks incredible. It really has changed what the feel of it looks like. It's 309 total seats on the bottom level, and then obviously here at Calvary we have a lot of people that like to sit up on the hill, and
no doubt.
And there's some future there about doing some things with the hill that hopefully we'll be able to kind of talk about that after the season. So should be a great environment. Soccer's not playing, so should have a pretty good student section here with our soccer kids.
We love the student section, baby.
They're good. They bring a little excitement. So 4:30, 7, 1 o'clock if game on Saturday, but it should be good. Everything I'm hearing about Bullock is a really, really good team. We feel like we're playing good. It should be a great matchup in the first round.
You can watch it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. This is Steve Smith. Again, we have that game this Friday, and then next week soccer. So hopefully, Coach, you'll be joining the soccer team, continuing on your season. Thank you so much,
Appreciate
brother. We'll take a break. We got more here. Coach's Show on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Chevy Traverse with 3-row seating up to $7,250 off. The impressive Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime. Get your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
Wants to say thank you to Zaxby's for their continued partnership with us for over the last couple of years since we started this. Your partnership has meant the world for us to give you premier coverage for all the local sporting events around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And specifically, I want to thank Judson Humphreys, my good friend, and the Phoenix City location, being with us from the very beginning, man.
Absolutely. Well, we just appreciate what y'all do in the community for these student athletes, and we just want to be a part of it.
Whether it's tailgating, parties, or you just want a quick bite to eat, come to the Phoenix City Zaxby's location and tell them Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Thrift sent you. Thank you again to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's for our continued partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome in, everyone, to another edition of the Glenwood Coaches Show, and I'm with the head softball coach of the Glenwood Gators, Coach Josh McConnell, who was my coach back in the day. That's how much older he's getting. But hey, I'm going to tell you this right now, man. Y'all social media was buzzing when every coach ran the sprint, and one of my buddies texted me, "Who's the softball coach speeding like that?" And I'm like, "That's my boy, my Coach McConnell. He's too competitive." But how you been, man?
I'm good. I'm great. Can't be better.
5 years you've been the head coach of the softball program. Last year, first year in the AHSA, had to go through trials and tribulation because you had such a young team. But this year, ranked number 3 right now, having a chance to win an area tournament championship. What was the offseason like knowing this year could be a special year?
Well, I mean, this, like I said, people ask me at the beginning of the year, what's your expectations? First year, last year, I knew we were really young. And you talk to people all the time, and they're like, oh, we're young. Well, we have 4 ninth graders and a 7th grader that started for us. So I knew, and we had 2 kids that I thought that weren't eligible at the time that I knew would help us. And so when people ask me, it's just like, I know we'll be better just because of the experience part.
Right.
You know, the playing at this level and all the things, I knew my young ones would be better.
Right.
And I knew I had 2 seniors coming back that were going to be able to lead us, and they're a key part to what we're doing.
Right.
So, I mean, I knew it would be better. To say that they've exceeded my expectations, they have. But I can't give enough credit. I coach football. I can't give enough credit to my assistant coaches because while I'm coaching football,
no doubt,
this is the first time we've ever been able to have an off-season program. So that we
made
really,
a bigger difference, didn't it?
It's been a huge difference. And plus, we're at a place where we share athletes, so we get them when we can get them. But no, it's made a big difference.
We are live also, by the way, in the brand new softball clubhouse. I walk in, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I started thinking about Olivia Humphreys, Stephanie Woodruff, and all the greats that come through here. They would have loved to have a locker room like this. Let's get into that, too, since we're already here. When I walk in here and see this is what we are giving our athletes at Glenwood, this is awesome, man. How long has this project been in the works, and how excited are you now to finally have it where the girls can come in and hang out?
It's been stressful. It's been a long process, but there again, anything worth having is worth waiting for. We had some issues, but those got corrected. And I'll be honest, I'm at a great place because I have not only great kids, but I have great parents that are willing to help and do the things. So I had some parents come to me and say, we're going to get this done. And we figured out how to get it done. And my whole goal is to give them what they deserve.
No doubt.
The way they come to work every day and do the things that I ask them to do and do things that I don't even ask them to do, they deserve this. And so it's a huge, it was very satisfying to me, and I'm proud of it in the sense of I'm proud of it that this is what we get to offer our program. And I'll be honest, it's one of the nicest ones in the state, and then nobody's going to argue with me on that. You know what I mean?
I'm not. I was blown away when I walked in there, man.
So, but like I said, that's what they deserve, and so I try to treat them the way they deserve, and we have a bunch of great kids, so I can't complain.
25-12 on the year. You played some tough games. You played against Central. You played against Auburn. We're talking about some of the top teams in the entire state, even in the country, man. Having that tough schedule, do you think that helped y'all to get to a point where you're at now where you can probably finish out a tough stretch here to win a championship?
Right, and I think part of it when I was talking about the expectation is I knew after we scheduled our schedule, I was like, okay, this is going to be tough.
Right.
Because we're diving into it. Last year I knew we weren't ready.
Right.
But this year I was like, well, we're going to challenge them and see what they do. We've lost 12 games, 7 of them have been to 7A schools.
Right.
So, I mean, we've competed in all but one of those games.
No doubt.
And we got lost in the atmosphere of one of them, which we're not the only ones that do, but we've competed in all those games and had chances to win and just didn't finish. But I wanted to challenge them. And like I said, that's why I've been so impressed, is because our schedule has not been easy.
No.
And we won 13 games last year. We were 13-26. And we've completely flipped that upside down with a tougher schedule. So, no, I mean, it's what you want. That's what they want. I mean, they want to play the Centrals of the world. Why not?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why not play the Auburns of the world?
Right.
I'm telling you right now, softball's softball, and we got girls that can compete at that level. And I don't care what numbers in front of your A.
Right.
I got girls that can play at all those programs.
No
so
doubt.
I'm blessed. You
No
know
doubt.
what I mean? So
no doubt. And I want to talk about some of those key players.
Mhm.
Kaden Henderson, she's had a fantastic year this year. You can also talk about Katie Corbett. Talk about those contributors that have been fantastic at the plate that have helped lead your team to 25 wins.
Well, the thing is like it's hard to pinpoint one, man, because like we're tough out, you know, and Caden's done a really good job hitting it. You know, she hits second for us, and she slaps, and she's tough.
Yeah.
Like, she's tough.
Hard to get out.
Hard to get out, and she takes her about 6 steps to get to first, so good luck with that. But no, I meant her, and then Katie Corbett, you know, just there again, she was one of those ones that wasn't eligible last year as a 9th grader, and I knew she would help us, but she's exceeded every expectation. I mean, she starts in center field for us, and it's lockdown out there.
No doubt.
And then she's produced at the plate. But, I mean, I could go on and on. I meant the Brooke Morels of the world that are just misconsistency. Okay? I mean, our 8th grader is doing something that not a lot of 8th graders that play the competition that we could do. And she's doing it. And she's not just doing it every once in a while. She's doing it every day.
Right.
I mean, she pitches for us. She's pitched against Central. She's pitched against St. James. She's pitched. She's pitched against all of them. So I mean, I could go down the list. Chloe Walden. I mean, Carrington Slocum has made huge strides at the plate from last year.
Awesome.
Caroline Chapa. I mean, the list goes on and on.
You think that confidence? Where do you think that confidence has come from? Playing a tougher schedule, knowing you lost last year, Coach.
If I could pinpoint one thing that happened during the year, coming off a 13-25 season, we went to Valley, and Valley puts on a really good tournament with a lot of good teams.
Right.
And we won the tournament. I mean, we beat Smith Station.
Yep.
We beat St. James in the championship game. I think that for our girls, we're not bad. This thing is going to be different than it was last year. And we've tried as coaches to pour into them and tell them, like, look, man, you're one of the best teams in the state, but it's one thing for me to believe it. You got to believe it.
No doubt.
And I think they started believing it and got some confidence. And our schedule was really weird. We went in a lull in the middle of the year where we didn't play. That's why I back end loaded it so much, because I knew we had a lull, but they've answered the bell every day. And it's just because of the work they put in. I tell people all the time, all I do is make sure they get to the game on time.
Right.
They do all the playing.
Well, Coach, you look like you're having fun, though.
I'm having
That's
a
the
blast.
main thing. And that you got to smile even harder knowing that you got freshmen that are your best players.
Yeah.
You got 4 more years with them, Coach, and it's been a fantastic ride. Last night, able to win 2 games. You got championship tonight. We don't know who you're playing yet. But, Coach, talk about what's the mindset trying to finish out area tournament. You've already clinched. And what's moving forward with playoffs? When do y'all have that coming up, and how are y'all going to prepare for it?
Last night was a big night for our program and for our school. We were in a tough situation in the first game against Lee Scott. We were down 4-3 in the 7th. And there again, a 9th grader that's leading off the 7th with a triple. Kaden Henderson comes up and gets a hit. Carrington Slocum does what she has to do and lays down a bunt. And then they intentionally walk Brooke and then Chapa and my 8th grader sitting at the plate.
Bases loaded.
Bases loaded, 1 out in a tie game. And she hits a line drive single to left to win the game.
Unreal.
And we kind of carried that momentum into the second game against Dayville. We jumped out 2-0 early. Chapa had a big hit there in the first inning with 2 outs. And we kind of poured it on, and it got a little dicey there a little bit, but Chapa pitched her butt off. And then we were up 5-2. They had bases loaded, 2 outs, and she struck out a girl. Then we come in the 7th, and Carrington hits one about 400 foot to put us up 6-2. So we ended the game 6-2. I mean, I'll be honest. What it did was, from a program standpoint, it allowed us to do something we've never done before.
Right.
We qualified for a regional. I'll be honest. I don't even know if the girls know.
It didn't register in their brain.
You know, well,
right.
but
history being made.
Right, and I didn't tell them on purpose.
Right.
Because we're here to win the area tournament.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to let down. I didn't want, okay, well, our work's done. I didn't want anything like that, but we still got work to do. So it's a big deal for our program. To be able to do that in the second year, especially coming off 13 and 26.
No doubt,
you know what I mean? But there again, it's a testament to the work they put in, and they believe. I mean, they bought what we're selling,
right?
And that's the biggest thing as a coach is, are your players going to buy what you're selling?
No doubt.
And they've bought it, and they've run with it.
Yeah.
And I tell them all the time, you know, I mean, you got to get hot at the right time. And there again, I mean, we just got to keep doing what we're doing. I tell them all the time, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get what you deserve.
St. James may be ranked number 1, but we've already faced them
Correct.
this year. So
Twice.
Twice this year, Coach. You played all those 7A schools. Do you feel good about where your team's at heading into it? And what's your expectations? I know you're ranked number 3. Many people think you're one of the favorites to win it all, but how do you make sure that pressure doesn't push down on a 14, 15-year-old man? Because, again, this is the first time ever they're playing in an atmosphere like this.
Yeah, when you roll with 5 sophomores, a freshman, and an 8th grader, but there again, like that's a catch-22. That could be a good thing. You know what I mean? Our girls just play. They have fun playing. The moment's not too big. They just do what they always do. The 7A stuff and playing the schedule that we have is obviously prepared us for that. I mean, St. James, we faced some really good pitching.
No doubt.
I mean, we faced a girl going to Ohio State, girl from St. James is going to South. So we've seen D1 arms. So, I mean, we're not going to see anything we haven't. You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of scheduling the way you do, is to try to put them in as many situations as possible so you don't run into something that you haven't seen.
Right.
So my expectation is just continue to do what we're doing and just compete. Like, that's all I ask them to do, is compete every day. If you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and say, you know what, I left it out, that's all you got. Your best is good enough.
I've seen you jump up and down on that third baseline. He's having a lot of fun. He's the head softball coach of the Glenwood Gators and making history. He's going to regionals. Congratulations, Coach. Go take care of business tonight.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a break. We got Coach Fanning coming up next here on the Glenwood Coaches Show.
For your surprisingly great race, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Chevrolet. Let's kick off 2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Chevy Traverse with 3-row seating up to $7,250 off. The impressive Chevy Equinox up to $5,500 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime. Get your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
At Planet Fitness, there's strength in numbers. The number of different workouts to do.
1, 2,
Different clubs to do it in. Friends to do it with.
Looking good, everybody.
Yeah, we are.
And the number of ways to recover from it all.
You got this, come on.
And it all adds up to one membership, the Planet Fitness Black Card. Access any location, bring a friend anytime, and recover in the Black Card Spa.
One more, everybody.
We're all strong on this planet. Planet Fitness.
Here, and I am with Terry Johnson and Terry Johnson Agency, one of the first sponsors I ever had when I started this endeavor over 4 years ago when I was doing it off my phone. I want to say thank you so much for believing in our vision of being able to serve the community, shine a light on all these athletes, all these programs. And Terry Johnson Agency, they've been serving the community for over 40 years. Home, auto, life, church. Terry Johnson's been helping my family and me specifically. He's my insurance agent. I want to say thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Thrift, and I appreciate the opportunity that you gave me 4 years ago to come on board and to be an initial sponsor with you. And it's just been a good association with you. and a pleasure to work with you, and look forward to a long association even further down the road.
No doubt about it. Again, serving the community for many years. You need a quote today, give them a call. Jeremy Crosby, his daughter Brooke, and of course, Mr. Terry. They're going to make you feel at home. They're going to take care of you. He's my insurance agent. It's Terry Johnson Agency, big supporter of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Posture.
Welcome back, everyone. It's me and Coach trying to look nice here on the Glenwood Coaches Show.
No scoliosis.
Hey, it's the athletic director and head baseball coach, Coach Fannin. Thank you, Coach. We're live, as I was telling Coach McConnell, in this beautiful softball clubhouse, man. Let's start there. How awesome is it for the softball players in enhancing all the experiences, not just for football. We hear it for baseball. Basketball's done it, but now softball included. We want to make sure they get the best experience possible.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. This is a labor of love. It's been a long time coming. A lot of people have really pitched in and helped out from a donation standpoint, from a labor standpoint, all that. And, our girls deserve everything that, all the other sports get. You know what I mean? So to see this, I don't know. I just like when we build stuff around here. There are a lot of hands involved. You know what I mean? And I call it the Glenwood way. There's a lot of sweat equity involved. It's just not somebody stroking a check and somebody coming in and doing it. There's a lot of parents involved, a lot of players involved, and the coaches are, involved a lot. So I'm just proud of them, man. It's beautiful. That's for sure. So that's why I had to up our game and try to expand ours. So anyway, that's another subject.
We'll get into that here in just a little bit, Coach. But how about the year you've had so far, man? You place all that talent, and you're in the quarterfinals. You're 2 more series away from getting back to that state championship. Talk about how this ride has been for you, having overcome some adversity, and now y'all starting to play your best ball. And last week, having to go a 3-game series. You didn't have to do that at all in the playoffs last year. Actually, you did. Against Prattville. I was there for that. But this year, having to do that on the road at Wicksburg, what'd you learn about your team last week, man?
Well, I mean, it's been kind of a methodical, steady rise to where we're trying to get to. We had a lot of ups and downs the first month of the season, I would say. Leaders trying to find their way, and anytime you lose great leadership from the year before, I think it takes a little bit of time to figure out which direction you're going to go. It's easy to say you're going to be a leader. It's a whole lot harder to be a leader if you've never done that before. And then, some guys are vocal, some guys are, follow my example, some guys are going to stay back in the wings, so to speak. But we do have a great group of seniors. I will say they've all bought in regardless of their leadership styles or whatever.
Right.
Regardless of how much they play or don't play, attitudes have been really good. They've worked extremely hard. I just think we've kind of incrementally gotten better as the season's gone on. So, and as a coach, when you have as much talent as we do and as deep as we do, it takes a while to kind of figure out that formula too, who's going to step up and what roles and what they're going to do. And we probably, you've seen a difference probably about the last 3 weeks or so. The offensive cohesion in the lineup has kind of done better. We did go down to Wicksburg and we had a bad inning defensively in the second game. I thought Asher pitched pretty good, but we made 4 errors and gave them 4 unearned runs. So that was kind of the difference in that game. And then having to sit, being rained out the next day, and then having to go back down there, 2.5 hours. We didn't stay, so we came back. Then get back at 3 o'clock in the morning. Then sit a day, then go back down there, and it was pretty evident when we got down there that they were ready to hit, and hitting is what we did.
Yeah, no doubt. 17 runs, Coach.
Right.
Carter Judah, he's been Mr. Consistent this year.
I agree.
I know a lot of people talk about others around this area, but I'll put him up there with anyone in terms of bat. What has he meant to him taking on that leadership role, him taking on that as your most consistent bat this year? It's been a pleasant sight to see.
Well, it's not just that too. I think he has been very consistent all year. Him and Hudson Campbell probably
doubt.
our two most consistent hitters all year.
Yeah.
Cal Lawrence has really come on the last month of the season, and now you're starting to really see how talented he is. And,
Right.
But Carter, I'm so proud of him outside of that, to be honest. You know, he's come a long way. He'll be the first to tell you the maturity, just the way he, you know, talks to other guys, the way he leads and tries to get the team going in the right direction and things like that. And that's what I'm super proud of him, because he's very talented. He's the guy that a lot of times you'll hear coaches talk about, man, I hate playing against that guy, but you really want him on your team. You know what I mean? Because he's a very intense young man, and he wants to win above everything else. And I've always respected that about him.
No doubt.
He plays 100 miles an hour. He knows no other way. And I'm just grateful he's on our team.
Pitching wise, as a pitcher yourself, you really hadn't had that dominant arm this year.
Right.
It's been more, we like to say, Johnny Holstaff. You
Right,
had
right.
guys that come through in the clutch, and I know you mentioned Asher, who's been consistent for you, but talk about how that's been for you this year and having that one go-to guy for you.
Well, and that, you know, coming into the year, everyone, you know, talked about, you know, man, you are losing so much pitching, and rightfully so. I mean, you know, 4 of our top 5 arms were seniors, and quite frankly, a lot of them were, you know, I mean, kind of legendary status in a historic baseball program. So I knew that was going to be the thing. We weren't void of talent by any means, just void of experience. So first of all, you know, Hudson Favors hasn't been able to. I mean, Hudson Favors.
I was about to say
Hudson Campbell.
He's been injured.
He's been injured.
He was that 5th guy you were just talking about, and he's been hurt.
And he would have been our number 1 for sure.
Right.
He's 16-1, and so he's had to deal with that all year, and I know that's weighed on him. But he hasn't been able to pitch. And then Tyler Clarity goes down as well, which pitched a lot early for us. But Cooper Favors has really stepped up. I mean, he's 9-2 with a sub-2 ERA, and just, you know, I think he's struck out, I want to say like 70-something and walked 15. You know what I mean? So he's the one that really has anchored our staff. You know, he's 9-2 on the year. And then Rhett English, he's a sophomore. He's stepped up big time for us. He's 7-0, and he had a little bit of a lat issue, so he wasn't able to throw this past week as well. But then there again, I mean, I think we're very deep from a pitching standpoint. I say we go 8 or 10 deep, and we've used all of them. You know what I mean? and it's been really cool to see, though. Honestly, you know, you got 3 seniors that have come out of the bullpen. They have anywhere from 10 to 12 appearances and pitched in big games, and I'm super proud of them for embracing their role and really just coming through for us in the clutch.
Coach, you know, the unpredictableness of your staff, do you think that is almost an advantage, knowing that you got 8 to 10 deep and teams can't really prepare for you? I know you may mention he's 9-2 on the year, so he's probably going to start game 1 the majority of the time, but knowing that you may not have a rep. You may throw away Hudson Campbell. You may throw an Asher Long. I feel like that's got to be a strength for your team this year.
I think it is, and I think they've embraced it too, and I think they're ready at a moment's notice. None of our guys have really backed away when I walk in and say, "Hey, man, I need you to start today." You know, they're fired up about it. You know what I mean? So I think it's a culture and having that many arms. Like when we practice, a lot of times we practice live hitting. You know what I mean, against our arms. Since we have a lot, we're fortunate enough to do that, where guys, you know, you don't just have a couple guys that are throwing their max pitch limit and then they can't do anything for 5 days or whatever. So it's definitely been a strength for us, I think, just, you know, void of experience. But, I mean, you've played almost 40 games now. I mean, like, the experience is there. You know, I think they're ready to do whatever's necessary, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it does definitely give you options as a coach, for sure.
The Altamont School. Never heard of them, but then, of course, I got guys on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, been doing this for 30 years. No, they're a private school in Birmingham.
Right.
So what do you know about them, Coach? They come in a pretty decent team. Obviously, I don't think they play the schedule you have, but
Right.
they can still beat y'all, and you know
Right,
that. So
for sure.
what's the mindset with them?
Well, I mean, they've played really well in the playoffs thus far.
Yeah.
They haven't given up very many runs. I do know that. So just looking at their pitching, it's pretty consistent. I don't know a ton about their hitters. They got some guys in the middle of their lineup they're very dangerous. So they have played some bigger competition, like some bigger schools in Birmingham throughout the year. So I don't think, they're definitely going to be intimidated or anything like that coming in here. So we just want to be very nice to them and welcome them in and show them what Glenwood baseball is all about. And that's, to me, that's the beauty about baseball, and we've always done it this way. It's about, playing against the game and not the opponent. And if we do that and we take care of those things and we, limit errors and limit walks and just be who we are, we got a shot to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't know much about them. I know they're the best team we play on Wednesday. That's all I can tell you.
And by the way, you can watch it on the NFHS Network. Georgia Alabama Sports Live will be producing it. Looking forward to that. Doubleheader tomorrow, if necessary, on Thursday. And I will tell you this, Coach, from when I talk to some of these schools that come, like the Altamont or anyone else that never experienced Glenwood, they always leave with like, man, that was awesome. Obviously the food's excellent, but just being in that, it just feels like baseball back in the day, especially the way the fans sit and stuff like that. You playing at Wicksburg last year. This is the whole reason why you made, last week, the AHSAA move to be able to see all these different places and then know about Glenwood baseball.
Well, and that's, I enjoyed, I enjoyed driving 2.5 hours twice. You know what I mean? I would have rather done it once. But, they had a nice school. The coach, the coach was great, man. The kids, it was a great series. It was a great atmosphere. Field was not, you know what I'm saying? Like it was cool to go to these different places that you've never been before. And I really, it means a lot to me to welcome people here that have never been to Glenwood.
Right.
It matters to me, and it matters to our kids, and it matters to this school that we are able to share our kids and our program with more of the state. And that's what this does. It's just another example of it. We did it, last year when all those new teams came here, and so I do think it is definitely a home field advantage for us because of, place is going to be packed, the atmosphere is going to be great,
Electric,
and it's just a whole lot of fun.
How much does it cost to get in the game, and what time they start tomorrow, Coach?
$12. For the doubleheader, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time or Superstation time if you're a Braves fan.
And make sure you grab a burger, because I'm telling you, it's the best cheeseburgers around. And my guys, they all fight who comes to Glenwood because they know they're going to be fed good. Coach, thank you so much. Look forward to hopefully talking to you after this win and moving on to the semifinals. It's the Glenwood Coaches Show. We'll be back after this. Alabama Sports Live wants to say thank you to Zaxby's for their continued partnership with us for over the last couple of years since we started this. Your partnership has meant the world for us to give you premier coverage for all the local sporting events around the Chattahoochee Valley area. And specifically, I want to thank Judson Humphreys, my good friend, and the Phoenix City location, being with us from the very beginning, man.
Absolutely. Well, we just appreciate what y'all do in the community for these student athletes, and we just want to be a part of it.
Whether it's tailgating, parties, or you just want a quick bite to eat, come to the Phoenix City Zaxby's location and tell them Georgia Alabama Sports Live and Thrift sent you. Thank you again to Judson Humphreys and Zaxby's for our continued partnership on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Welcome back, everyone. Thrift Behringer wrapping up what have been a fantastic coaches show. Thank you again to all the coaches who were able to join us here this evening on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Playoff Coaches Show. We started off with Brookstone. Thank you to Coach Chris Carter, the girls coach for Brookstone. Thank you to Coach Elton Surraw, the boys coach, and Greg Mathis, the baseball coach. Then we went from Brookstone to Pacelli. We have Pacelli girls and boys soccer coaches, Coach Goja for the boys and Coach Cochran for the girls.
For Calvary, we had head coach for the boys team, Jason Robertson, and head coach of the baseball team, Steve Smith. And then Glenwood, you saw from softball coach Josh McConnell and head coach Tim Fanning. We're cheering for all those teams that are still alive. By the way, it's 2-2, and we are heading into overtime, extra time here for Columbus and Jordan. You can watch it on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live YouTube channel right now. Hopefully we'll get an interview with the winning head coach. It has been a fantastic game. These two schools don't like each other. The oldest rival we got. And guess what? They get to go some extra time. The winner goes to the semifinal. Thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Rest of the week, what do we got? Busy week. Columbus Jordan now. Then on Wednesday, we got Carver ring ceremony. We got the Columbus Lion coaches show that we're going to be doing. Thursday, we'll have Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. We're going to be live from Glenwood with NFHS as well. They got their playoff game tomorrow. Friday, we got Brookstone girls soccer game, and that wraps it up. And guess what? We do it all again next week. We'll see you next time on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.